Hello everyone and compliments of the season. It's another festive season and I will be hosting today's show. I am Mariam Lunge. Throughout this year on the show we touched on a whole lot of topics, political, human interest. But one particular show touched me and that is what I would like to reflect on today. The case of the late Moradeo, a beautiful and promising young lady. I'm focusing on this issue because it highlights the worst and the best of our society. It highlights the issue of insecurity in our society where ordinary people going about their everyday business in pursuit of their dreams and aspirations have their lives snatched from them in the most brutal of fashions despite government's best efforts. It highlights the worst in our society where the perpetrators of these crimes are very rarely ever caught and therefore walk the streets of our society freely amongst us as though they have committed no crimes. It highlights the poor state of our healthcare, private and public, where a victim of this crime, still alive, gets to a hospital and yet nothing could be done for her. The jury is still out as to whether or not more could have been done for her when she got to the hospital. But all evidence points that the hospital just wasn't suitably equipped to handle her injuries. It also highlights, thankfully, the best in us, that ordinary people rushed to her aid and took her to the hospital in order to save her life. The outpour of emotions from the public. Government response through the House of Reps to investigate the circumstances surrounding her death. On the back of this, I'm urging government to do what it needs to do, to step up the measures to safeguard the lives of ordinary Nigerians. And I'm also urging Nigerians to continue to be their brother's keepers. And I pray that this festive season, you and your loved ones remain safe and secure.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So OAU graduate named Moradeo has been trending on Twitter after news of her death broke. According to reports, she was robbed and stabbed in the neck around Bagada area of Lagos. When passers-by rushed her to the hospital, she was left to die because her rescuers could not provide a police report. Now, this news is trending on Twitter and on social media. I would like to hear your thoughts on this because we thought that this has already, this issue of asking for police reports is behind us because the police have repeatedly told us that it is illegal. It has totally been abolished from our laws. You shouldn't demand a police report. Patients are supposed to be treated on the spot. But for whatever reason, some hospitals are still demanding of this. So I'd like to open the phone lines and let people call in and share their own experience. So maybe people do not, maybe our lawmakers do not understand that this hasn't been properly enforced. So please call and let us hear your thoughts on this. And if any experience you've had related to this story, you can call us on 070-8066-8014. You can also tweet us at TVC and please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. This was pretty close to home because one of our producers actually knows the young lady that passed on, and they were very, very good friends. So it really broke her heart. I mean, I was told that she cried pretty much practically yesterday. And this is, unfortunately, the Nigerian story. It's unfortunately part of the life of, that's the life we live here, where you get into an accident and they have to demand a police report. So let me come to you, ladies. What are your thoughts on this when you heard this news?
The way we lose, the way people die, avoidable deaths in Nigeria is demoralizing, is frustrating, is every negative word you can think of. But we've discussed this many times. When the information broke, when the law was amended, when the policy changed, we discussed it here, and I asked the I think it was representative of the CP that came, the Commissioner of Police that came to talk about this, and then I asked that, how do we ensure that hospitals carry this out? They said they have a framework to disseminate this information. So it is not about making laws. We have many laws. It's about compliance. It's about the information getting out there. I rarely would even blame the hospitals because this is what they know. What they've been told is that you get this documentation before treating this person. They get that information over and over. It was bred into them. In their school, they teach them. It is one of the things they use to protect themselves as an institution, especially being a private hospital. They don't want court cases coming up later in future. But what we should have done as a nation is to inform everybody in the staff, every staff in the health sector to know.
I really doubt if they don't know. Because
Mariah, obviously they don't.
There was a time that this news broke and everybody was talking about the fact that you must not demand police. In fact, the CP,
that
the IGP at that time
are inherently wicked people. The health sector trains their staff to first and foremost protect lives. But within that same thing, they tell them to obey laws. So when they see this kind of situation, they would want to protect life, but they also want to obey laws. So until we tell them that this law is not applicable.
Okay, so I don't know to what exactly. Is it that they did not even touch her at all? Because I remember we were reading a particular story some weeks ago, and these people were taken to the hospital from gunshot wounds, and the hospital gave them first aid until they were able to get like a police report or something. So did the hospital not even do that for her is what I'm saying.
They didn't.
And I understand where you're in a country, you need to follow the laws, but sometimes I just feel that we're human beings and I see a young girl, I see a young girl come in. I feel that for me, everything else would stop. If it would mean me getting some handcuffs or tying her to the bed so she does not run away if I'm not sure. But I would want to, the first thing you do is to save that life.
For every profession, there are ethics of a profession. So there are certain ethics that expect that you take certain decisions, which is what you just talked about. So in this, are we saying in the medical field, there are no ethical
something that goes above.
If we actually have statistics of number of people that have died, it will shock us.
Yes.
The number of people that have died due to gunshot wound that would have been treated and would have been alive today will be shocked, but we don't have statistics. It will range almost in millions because we've had this happen over and over again. That was why the law was changed, because we realized that a lot of innocent people will get to the hospital with gunshot or stabbed injuries, wounds, and they will not get treated and they will bleed to death within the hospital.
I, for one, I watch a lot of American movies, and I see that when, these kind of things happen, the first response is to treat that patient and then start filing for the papers later on. So if the person is probably at a flight risk, you can position security to make sure the person doesn't leave, but lives are valued everywhere else apart from Nigeria. It's unfortunate, but that is what I see in every angle, in every organization. It's as if we do not really, we do not put ourselves in the person's shoe. What if it was your child, that they brought to you that had this kind of accident? Would you say, I'm waiting for the doctor's report? You will take the risk. You will take the risk and you stand for it. Now, I don't know if the hospital would claim that they did not hear this, but even if you did not hear, this is a life that was given to you at that time. Do the needful first and then start seeking for the person.
I have two stories on both sides.
For me, this hospital actually should be liable, because it is not the responsibility of us here to debate what is going on. We know that the police has made a statement that don't wait for police report to treat. And we know that they said they've disseminated that information to all hospitals. So the list would have been that they would have gotten a letter. And it's not a small hospital.
It's not a huge publicity.
Even if it's not if it's a small clinic, I won't mind. It is a big hospital. They would have got somebody at the helms of affair would have gotten that information, and probably it didn't get trickled down. And so they should be in one way or the other. They should be made to deal. They should be punished severely in such a way that it would deter others from letting this kind of thing happen. They must be deterred.
Because I was going to share my own story, because I've shared this story many times anyway. That when I was in the US, I had an accident. The car flipped 4 times. We're hanging on a tree. Nobody knows me from anybody. And anyway, they called the helicopter. I got the helicopter, flew me all the way to the hospital. They didn't know who I was. They gave me Jane Doe.
That's what they give.
They treated me. I had a skull fracture. My right thigh crushed. Totally. I didn't work for 8 months. I was on the tree. They tore it open. The helicopter took me to the hospital. They treated me.
Without knowing
now I was going to find who my family was. They called me Jane Doe. They said, please, we don't know who she is. Please come and verify if you know her. The only way they could, because I was bandaged all the way. They could only see my eyes and my lips were swollen. And that was it. They couldn't identify me. The only thing they used to identify me, I have a mole at the bottom of my feet. One of my feet has a dark mole. My sister-in-law saw it. She said, that's Morayo.
wow.
And that's how they knew me. They had no idea who I was.
Yeah.
I was treated.
Yeah.
The point is that I think Nigeria has recognized that these things will happen. And that's why this law was made. So indeed, as you have said, this hospital must be held responsible for the death of this child.
Okay, yeah.
Or be shot or something really major.
Oh, yeah, okay, yes. I get that, but also this is a hospital that treats people, so I don't want the punishment to be so severe that we shut down a whole hospital. Do you understand? Maybe we would find some particular people who were involved directly with letting that girl die. Then secondly, also, the police need to do maybe a better job of making sure that they disseminate the information that they need hospitals to hear. Because also we have, apart from hospitals, we also have the cases where people would take themselves to police station by themselves and the police would lock them up.
Yes, so.
And they'll be locked up for so long, and then 10 years later they'll come, they'll say the police was looking for me. I came in by myself and this is what happened to me. So I think a lot of people are so afraid of the police, they would rather err on the side of caution, and that's what the hospital did. I think they did wrong, because for me, my humanity would come first over that.
Let me take this
But
call.
police needs to do more.
Bayo, are you there?
I'm here.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Morning.
I think we have to just cut this into two a little bit. I think we have to love what we do in this country. If we love what we do, we will value human life. Bail is free also. But look at the problem police give. So I believe we should love ourselves. Let's treat them. They are not running away first. Let's treat them first. Then after we can ask questions. Like my lady said, handcuff them to the bed. Why you are treating them? Get the police officers to come on there. That's how they do it abroad.
Yes.
Keep them in the hospital. Then
Thank
the
you very
police
much,
will
Bayo.
come.
I have another story. The doctor that saved my son's life, he's run away to Canada now. You see padlock in his hospital, he has gone to Canada. But before then, he said that, because I know this man, he's a pastor in Redeemed.
Okay.
He treats almost everybody that comes and they don't pay him. He will treat them and they disappear. At night, they'll come sneak out and they'll go. So people have been burnt for treating out of dream pro bono work. Compassion. So it's both sides.
Yeah. Okay. So when you say
Let me
that,
go to a quick break.
All
I'm
right.
sorry, and I'll come to you. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Right, thanks for staying with us. So, before the break.
You know, you just mentioned that a lot of doctors have, put themselves out there, helped patients, and then those patients end up running away with their monies. But this is not the problem of the patients. It's the problem of the systems. Now, do you think that if you go to an American hospital that you can run away, you can discharge yourself, run away, and they won't trace you to your house? They will have your security social system. They have we have our BVN at the moment. So as you are getting people in, we should fix our data, the way we take data in our country, because we don't have a system that is working. So it's not about the person. You have used your good mind, and I would advise every doctor out there to keep being who you are, keep trying to save lives, but then your system needs to be fixed. If somebody comes into my compound, steals from me, walks away, my help opens the door and he goes, it's not the person or me it's not the person I should blame. I should blame myself for not protecting my house. So when we sort that system out, everything will find
That's why the doctor has relocated to where the system works.
Before we sort the system out, people will just be kind to each other, and that's what the doctors will do. So I will not say it may not be the problem of the patient. It's not the problem of the doctor that's helping as well, because I have many stories of my mom with her very meager salary. Then she would say, the nurses had to come together and put money together for a particular patient who couldn't pay her bed, her hospital bills, and that was the only way that she could leave. Because what the general hospitals would do is they would have you in the hospital, but they won't let you go. So you find mothers have had babies and they can't leave because they can't pay their bills.
Some of them are there for like months.
Yes, for months.
When I had my
So they're
twins
feeding them.
in Bagada General Hospital, my mom paid hospital bill for two ladies that had given birth.
Let me take this call from Abimbola.
That happens out of kindness.
Abimbola, are you still there?
Yeah,
Hello.
good morning, Murayo.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
It is very sad to know that things like this still happen in Nigeria.
Yeah.
In UK, here where I live, life is very important, and no matter the situation,
Yes, sir.
you must save life first. In fact, a medical doctor, was sacked and his PIN number withdrawn just because he was at the train station and a passenger fell down and he failed to attend to the woman.
Wow.
So somebody noticed him and reported him at his working place. He was sacked for not saving life. This is sad in Nigeria that in 21st century, we still wait for police report before we carry out treatment. I just wonder what right have we, the Nigerians of today?
Thank you so
There
much.
shouldn't be a law.
It's indeed, you're very correct, but it's really, really sad. Let's go ahead with the tweet, please.
Engineer Wolex says, my heart goes out to the family of the young lady. Doctors are careful because this is Nigeria. People kill and go dump at the hospital claiming it was an accident. We just need to amend our laws. The hospital must be sanctioned to serve as deterrent to others. Adeyemo says, I think the law should ensure hospitals report cases immediately to the nearest police station, not the victim bringing the police report. Jemima says, I lost my nephew 2 weeks ago at Makurdi. He was shot and stabbed, but his neighbors were scared to take him to the hospital without a police report. He died. We must respect human lives and our system must be looked into.
Ashipa James says, we must first define as a nation the value we place on the lives of our people. Until this is done, we will keep recording avoidable and unfortunate deaths like this one.
Yaro says, unfortunately, 2 years after, many hospitals, particularly private clinics, still reject such victims. In fact, the police reports which website seem to have been extended to victims of road traffic accidents.
Well, we are yet to hear from the hospital, so it would be nice to hear because, as I said, it's a big hospital, it's not a small hospital. So we'd like to know what went wrong, and we'll wait for their own response. And once they respond, we'll be sure to share with our viewers because it's important to hear their own side of the story. But first, let me take Dapo's call from Bagada. Thanks for calling. Are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Go ahead, please.
My name is Pastor Oladele.
Okay, sir.
Now, I want to let you know that based on what you just said now, you have really, answered to some of the things I want to talk about.
Okay.
Pastor Oladele, not Dapo, please.
Okay.
Pastor Oladele. Now, this is my second time calling on your program.
Okay.
And I watch your program, and I have a lot of respect for your view.
Thank you, sir.
I was around at that place when that thing happened that day. That lady was not shot. She was stabbed on the neck.
Okay.
We said that.
The doctor came out quickly to come and meet them outside.
Okay.
I was right there. And immediately he saw the wound. He told them clearly that this cannot be handled here, that they should rush the girl straight down to Bagada General Hospital.
Okay.
That's where they can handle it very quickly.
Okay.
But the people around her were still dilly-dallying about what to do. And the young girl was bleeding. And the doctor was shouting on them that, please take her straight down to Bagada General Hospital nearby. He was even specific about it. By the time they now got themselves together to take her to General Hospital, before we had the news that the lady was dead. So please, you have to investigate before you start castigating the hospital.
Pastor Olade, let me give you one second, Pastor Olade.
Yes.
If that child was any of our children, for example, what I would have expected that doctor to do first is CPR or do that immediate rescue to stop the bleeding. Because there's no way somebody stabs you, you continue to lose blood.
Yes.
There's got to be something, either you tie up that entire wound, stretch that, tie it very tightly, and then say, take this child to General Hospital. Something has to be done. So somebody must take responsibility for that immediate response that was not done.
That's what we're talking about.
And then put her in your ambulance.
But you're like, don't touch.
To life that we're really happy on.
Yes.
Dr. Pastor Olade, are you still there, sir?
Yes, I'm there.
Yes, so that's the issue. You understand it's a big hospital, but at the same time, it's the same Nigerian factor of passing the buck.
Yeah.
It's not my responsibility. I can't handle it, take it somewhere else. No, treat first or do the basic. And then ship her over to General Hospital.
You know, sir, you'd hear people, they will be...
It requires an emergency answer from somebody who can handle the situation very quickly.
Yes. Yes, and he was a doctor. I mean, who else other than a doctor is supposed to be able to handle that? You hear people on planes, they would have emergencies, and the first thing they would do is...
We have to balance it.
Yes.
There are some situations that, you know, when you get to the hospital cannot handle it.
Yes.
Yes, and you have to take the person to the right place on time.
Right.
Yeah.
Any little minutes lost can lead to the death of that person.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Thank you very much, Pastor Oladele. I get your point.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and as you said, it's that first response we're talking about. What do we do first response? When I was growing up in Jos, we used to have this program that they would show to teach you different ways of first aid. So whatever situation it is, you know, we're all equipped to be able to give some form of first aid. So yes, the people who helped her too should have been able to give her some form of first aid, but then they were able to bring her to the hospital. Where else can you get first aid treatment?
Right,
so he puts a bandage around her neck and puts her in his ambulance and sends her off to the hospital. Today he will be the hero that saved the girl's life.
Exactly. Exactly. I wanted to talk about the
Rayo, this is Nigeria. Everybody is protecting themselves. Everybody is protecting their head. Everybody is protecting their own interest. I must even applaud those that found the girl that has been stabbed and were bold enough to take her to the hospital. Because in some cases, the fact that you carry someone that is maimed in any way puts your own life at risk.
Yes,
because they will hold you down. You can't say, I want to help somebody on the road. They will say, you brought the person here. You must wait with the person until the person is solved.
You must know what has happened.
The country itself is skewed to make you be selfish in how you deal with life's interest. So the doctor is looking at it that I have the hospital to protect. I don't want the person to die here. They'll say it's this hospital that killed the person. No, this person is going to die. Go. And we do that many times.
All right, let me take this call. Good morning. Are you there? Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for calling. It's breaking a bit. Are you still there? Yes. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is from.
We can't hear
It's
you.
not clear, sir. I'm so sorry. It's not clear. Let's take a few more tweets. Go ahead.
Before the tweets, quickly, I think the police has a lot more to do to regain our trust. Over the years, all of these things are coming up because we do not trust. I remember serving in Makurdi then when an elderly man saw a fisherman, a dead fisherman, and then he went with his son to report to the police. And when he got there, he was arrested. He was put in jail for years. We were handling that case. And he was there for years because he saw a fisherman dead in the water. He's a fisherman as well. So, you know, the police needs to do a lot more to gain our trust. When they gain our trust, it will be easy for us to know, see these situations and quickly get their help.
I hate sharing this story. I know I've shared it like a million times again on this story, but I live with this regret. Because I don't even know if the girl ever died. I saw a 14-year-old girl pregnant. The baby was about to come out with flies. This was many, many years ago. And in Lekki, flies, mosquitoes had all gathered around where we could see the baby's head. And all the community were gathering around, like, hey, what are we going to do? I was just driving by. I stopped. I said, okay, I bought a bag, a plastic bag, put her behind me. Let's take her to the nearest hospital. I took her there. The doctor, nurse came and said, Auntie, carry her away from here. Why? Because they told me that, she came in the morning and they know that she cannot afford the bills, that we should take her away. And I said, where's the closest general hospital? It was all the way in Ikoyi. They now told me, I have to go and look for a police. In fact, the police were accompanying us. Police have been going around with us. After I was Auntie, please, better return that girl.
Hey, you know what?
Unfortunately, I had to because the girl was at the point of death, and I didn't want to see whether she would die in your car. I'm in Nigeria. Okay. So that was this was about almost 20 years ago. So I had to take her back to the Bales place. Sir, sorry all the hospitals I went to rejected her. I can't carry her to my house. So as I said, I still live with that regret because I don't know whatever happened to the girl. But you see, that's a Nigerian factor.
Yeah. You know what? Any hospital that rejects someone in a situation of an emergency has to be fined, has to be punished.
That's why when I was saying gruesome fine.
If you reject someone at the point of emergency, that you do not even give that person that first response, that first aid. Okay. To say that
I have Femi Falana, Mr. Femi Falana on the phone. He would like to contribute. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you doing, sir? Thanks for calling in. You're live. Go ahead, sir.
Well, on the unfortunate death of the lady,
yes, sir.
The role of the hospital or the rejection of the patient while she was alive is clearly illegal and criminal. By virtue of the provision, specifically, Section 20 of the National Health Act of 2014, as well as the Gunshot Wounds Act of 2017, no patient shall be rejected by any hospital or medical personnel. And if that happens, an offense has been committed, and this time around, we have already been briefed, and we intend to pursue the matter, apart from asking for the prosecution of the medical personnel involved. We're also going to sue for aggravated damages for the family of the deceased.
Really, sir. Thank you so much for getting involved in this case. Thank you so much. That is, thank you very much. Hearing from you carries a lot of weight, Nigerians, because we understand that you're a human rights activist and a human rights lawyer, and these are the kind of issues that you pay attention to, and these are things should give the family some succor that the Femi Falana Chambers will be handling this. Thank you so much, sir, for contributing to the show.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Now, going forward, let me
As
come
a
to you.
country, as a country,
As a country, how many times, how many people will have access to Femi Falana?
as a country, I think that as a country, we must change this selfish, I want to take care of myself policy, and we cannot wait for our leaders to do it. Every Nigerian must take responsibility for every Nigerian life they have opportunity to help. We must not be selfish about the time we have, because the life we have is a gift, and we shouldn't help others to snap it out, because that lady had the gift of life. She was stabbed by somebody, and someone could have helped to preserve that life, but didn't do what it was meant to do. Every Nigerian should focus on saving lives at every point in time. Save a life.
Yeah. So I think that we've also found ourselves in a position because we've had the past relationship we've had with the police, which is we do not trust that the police will stand by its word to say you must, until you show up, you don't need to show a police report. And so I feel that the police needs to come out now seriously, because even from the tweets we're reading from other parts of Nigeria, it seems like people are not aware that this law has been revoked. You can go to the hospital and treat someone without having the police report. I don't think a lot of people know that yet.
Let me take this quick call, then I'll come to our audience. I know I have a few comments in the audience. Good morning. Are you there from Agodo?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning, Raya.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning, Mariam, Checo, and BC. It's my first time calling.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
I wanted to talk about Pastor Oladele, but I'm happy that lawyer Femi Falana has already responded to the issue. You know, as a parent, you know, it's painful. You know, how can a child get to the hospital and then you said the doctor was telling them, take him to Bagada General Hospital, take him to Bagada General. I expected the hospital first. Get an ambulance, make arrangements, first aid treatment. Let this child be taken there. What if that child was that doctor's child? What if that doctor has a child and is found somewhere else in this kind of situation and this happens to his daughter? How is he going to take him? It's very, very wrong in this country. How can you as a doctor stand in your hospital and you're telling them to take the child to Bagada General Hospital? And then pastor is saying that the hospital is not wrong, that we should find out first before we respond. What if it's his own daughter? Why in that kind of a situation? And the doctor is saying,
Thank you very much. Let me take a few comments from our audience. Go ahead, please.
I want to say something. When you take your child to the clinic, it's better for them to save the life, because when you get there, you say that is our principle, that you must bring the money first. Okay, you bring the money first. Supposing the child or the parent can't afford the money, then you kill the child. Then maybe it's the reason why people don't treat their children in Nigeria here. They fly them abroad because we don't value lives in Nigeria here.
Right. That's why. Thank you very much. Let me take a few more. I'll go for a quick break. Let me just take one more comment and go on a break.
Yes, I have an experience when my house got burned. Then everything I have in life then was the cloth I was wearing and what my daughter was wearing. And, you know, like my BP was so high. I was thinking a lot. To the extent even I don't even know how my life is. And I went to hospital, General Hospital. My BP was 200 over. And the doctor I met told me face to face, madam, please, if you want to die, go and die.
Oh.
He told me face to face, if you want to die, go and die. I'm going home now. The time I've closed. It was another person, even a cleaner, that was even the one that I went to go and look for somebody that would help the situation for me.
In this country?
Yes, in General Hospital.
We can't be shocked.
And secondly, I have an issue when I went to a church and they were like, okay. Yes, I had that issue and I had
let me pause you for a quick second. I'll take that story after this quick break. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thank you. Go ahead, please. So tell us a story about your leg here.
Okay, my second experience was when I went for a church and they say, a newcomer, you have to do deliverance. And from that deliverance, I fell down and I had this serious injury. I was bleeding. You could see my bone. I was bleeding, serious bleeding. So I went to a hospital. They asked for police report. I told them that.
Didn't take you to the hospital?
No. I went alone. So they asked for police report. And I asked them that this incident happened from the church. They said I had to go and get police report.
Ew.
I was going around, I was bleeding, losing strength. Until I finally, okay, let me go to police. It was getting to 11 in the night. I went to the police station. And then I was at Maryland. I explained, the policeman that saw me asked me, and I explained. He said, madam, just go to the church and get paper. That was how they were turning me around.
Ew.
And eventually I called someone, and he asked me what things to get, drugs to get, and that was how I treated myself.
Sorry, ma.
See, be your brother's keeper. Nigerians, the police officer should be his brother and her brother's keeper. The hospital, the doctor, the nurses, the cleaner, be your brother's keeper. The passers-by, church, be everybody. If we are indeed our brother's keepers, we will have stories like this, because these are human beings treating another human being like he's a foreigner or an alien.
Two more comments here. Go ahead.
All right. This situation, the doctors have their fault. Police have their fault.
I don't get it.
Now, before you sanction this hospital, as much as the police said they had taken off bringing a report before you've been treated, they should ensure that memos had been passed to hospitals.
Yes.
And they have it. And if you have this memo and you don't treat, then you can be sanctioned.
Yeah.
I had similar experience 18 years ago. Preparing for my wedding, 3 weeks, I had accident. And I was on the spot Kaduna-Abuja Expressway. People were there to help, but nobody wanted taking me to the hospital because there wasn't a police report. I was bleeding. Between 4 and 8 p.m., I kept bleeding. The hospital, I got to General Hospital. Nobody wanted to attend to me until I was taken to a private hospital before I was treated. Now, they would be scared of losing me, and then it becomes an issue on them. So we need to tidy it up from both ends. As much as, yes, they are there to save life, they need to protect their source of income and let the police sensitize people about it.
This is what I see as a Nigerian crisis, which is manifesting in different forms. So it's like the whole holistic Nigerian problem, but it will show face in different forms. So if we have the National Health Insurance Scheme covering majority of the people, we will not have those who are afraid, first of all, to go to the hospitals. If we have the police protecting the people like they should, we will not have those who are forced to look away from people who are in crisis because they do not want to implicate themselves. So we need to, from the beginning, start handling the government. I'm going to mention their name again. Start handling the issues from top to bottom so that we can take care of all of these angles.
Let me just take one last comment. One last comment from the audience, and then we close because we have a guest coming in. Yes.
My take on this issue is that I think those citizens that helped the girl, they should America, I watch American movies well. And when I watch the ambulance, after the accident happened, they will call an ambulance. And with the ambulance, behind the ambulance, you'll be hearing police siren. So the police will be with the ambulance. You know, when the ambulance gets to the hospital, the policeman will be there with them and they'll be doing.
Are you watching a movie or
no, just an instance.
Exactly.
Just for instance. So I think the emergency number should, like, everybody should
727, yes.
It should be known to everyone so that when it's called, it will not be that hard to.
All right, thank you very much for your
that.
comments. We have to round up on this. Let's just go ahead and say something.
Yeah, okay, no, there was a tweet I read, but I can't get to it now, but he was just saying that in America, they would ask you for, I think, your credit card or your social security number, but like in maybe European countries, they don't do that. You just go in and then while you're getting treatment, you'll be sorted out. So maybe that is also one of the things that you are suggesting is if we're on a national health scheme, everybody has a number, and then, but that is one. And the first thing above everything else is that that compassion. I see you down. What do I need to do to help you? Simple and short.
Unfortunately, we have to wrap up on this, but any more tweets, Tokwe? Quick one, very quick.
Yes. Goke Iseba says, my wife had a premature labor and were pushed from the hospital, from one hospital to another hospital without recourse. She went through so much pain. Hurtfully, but thankfully, she delivered to this baby stillbirth with no operation. It's a shame. And then she said, Professor Omo Kwai says, Nigeria law must be give the human life the deserved respect. And this is the 21st century where citizens' data goes to technologies ought to be available and accessible to avoid doctors' naivety about putting doctors' reports ahead of human life.
Let me take this final call from Oshun Oshogbo. Good morning, are you there? Hello, you're live.
Hello.
Thanks for calling, madam. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, I just want to say this. No matter the laws in place, or the doctors were scared, or who is scared or not, if that girl was his daughter, his wife, or his family relative, he's going to break any rules to first stabilize the patient.
Yeah.
So why not do it for somebody else, which I think is the first thing that should be done. Should be done before any form of referral, before any form of police report. First stabilize the patient, because you would do that for your own. So I feel humanity should come first.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you so much for your contribution. I think we've all said pretty much the same thing across board, and we'll follow up on the story. Thank God that lawyer Femi Falana has taken up this issue. We'll follow up with him to know how far they've come, and hopefully this poor girl will get some justice.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Welcome back. For a while now, every Wednesday we have had live audience show with some extra dedicated fans, and they make it a point of duty to be here every Wednesday, and we do not take that for granted. We spoke to some of them and they gave us their favorite episodes. Please watch this.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
My name is Chichi Alinta. I'm a poet and a fan of Your View. Just as the name implies, Your View. It's meant for you, for me, and for the whole wide world, for us to speak our mind. Through this program, I've gained a lot of things. Not only me, even the nation as a whole. Most information that we are not familiar about or we don't understand, we don't get the right information. But listening to this program, listening to the beautiful ladies we have in Your View, we're able to get the accurate information. Aside from that, I would like to talk about the best episode of this program. My best episode in this program is titled The Place of Money in Relationship. There we are meant to know that without money, money will definitely go away. But love will keep the relationship going. That we shouldn't bring money first into any relationship because it causes discord. it causes lack of communication. It leads to one thing or the other. But with love, you move forward. But if you are putting money first, money will cause discord, and that relationship will not move the way it's supposed to move. With this, I'm encouraging us that we should keep watching your view. Keep watching your view for you to be able to know what you need to know and be able to solve the happenings of life.
Thanks for staying with us. So people often ask for the importance of money in a relationship, as it cannot be overemphasized. Recently, a Nigerian man seeks advice on whether or not he should inform his wife of his salary increase. So we're throwing this to you guys. What do you think about this? What exactly is the place of money in a relationship? You can call us on 070-806-68014. You could also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your TVC so you can read your tweets. Okay, so this issue of money, I don't know if people have an issue with money, because why is it so difficult for someone to tell a loved one that, okay, I have been promoted and I have a salary increase of X amount? You know, why do people feel as if they have to guard that information with their life? That is an issue of trust. Yes, so this man on Twitter actually put it out there. But what are your thoughts generally? And I know we know Tokwe's views on this matter already.
So before Tokwe goes on her views on the matter, I am here. I have my views.
Yes.
I remember in I think 2011 or 2010. There's this promotion my husband was expecting in the office, and I will wake up in the middle of the night and pray. Like, you know, I don't pray as much these days because, yes, you know, I've prayed those days, so the prayer is still working. You know, I wake up and pray. I will fast. I'll pray, God, he must get this promotion. He must get this promotion. And finally, the promotion came. Before the promotion came, they called out the names of those they were promoting. His name was not included. Right. So I intensified my prayers. I went to church. I made a vow with a heavy amount of money. I didn't have the cash to drop. So I wrote that from that salary increment, I will pay that vow.
Is it your body?
I didn't tell him, I just wrote that. His father was making another vow that from that same increment, we pay this vow. We didn't discuss, we didn't know.
Okay.
So imagine if that promotion came and he didn't tell me.
You'd be hurt.
And let's say I don't know. So I go back feeling that God did not answer my prayer. Meanwhile, he has collected the money, he has pocketed it, he's asking his friends whether he should tell me or not. This is clearly an issue of trust. When you are married, you should share everything together, including your finances. If you're scared that the woman will overly demand, I don't think a wise woman who wants to build her home will use the money to cook soup to buy human hair. I don't think so.
Okay, but there are situations where, there's a situation whereby the man maybe doesn't have a job.
Okay.
And the little money she earns is what they share. And she realized that every single thing she earns, the man takes the whole thing. And as a submissive wife, she hands over. But the moment she gets an increment, that increase is her breaker. That's what she has. Because she can call her own. So with that kind of woman, would you advise her to tell this same woman that collects all her salary that they've increased my salary, now it's no 100,000, now I want 50,000 naira. Because that extra 50K, she's keeping it for herself. So it depends on the situation. Would you bring an issue of trust in that kind of situation?
I think for me, if I'm sticking to the story on ground, it depends on the kind of wife the man is married to. And it's not also about transparency for men. Sometimes it's about proper management of the home front. You'll find some women that maybe once they know that their husband have increment. First of all, my husband, I think, is the first few Nigerians that I've met that he will tell everyone who cares to listen, I earn so and so, this is so and so. So it's not even about that is going to share it with me. Everyone around us knows. Do you understand? And if there's anything coming in, maybe he could share it with me for reasons best known to him. But you cannot have enough money, right, or increment in your salary and expect not to share it with your woman. There must be something wrong, not necessarily transparency. Again, when you look at marriage itself, marriage is like MOU, so to speak. You have clients who are in-laws, friends. You have projects,
that is school fees, summer and the likes and all of that. So you find a man who is responsible because where this money comes in is about responsibility for men. Yes. So you find a man who is responsible to want to manage the finances properly, not about...
And not spend on girlfriends outside.
No, forget girlfriend. A man who is going to spend on girlfriend will spend on girlfriend no matter what. And you find out that such men, where you're old on, such men, you find out that they would sometimes not share the information with their wives. Right. You said you pray for your husband regularly for this increment. When the increment came, he shared it with you. Yeah. There are some men out of excitement. They believe that maybe if I share it with my wife, my wife will, yes, there will be more demands and all of that. So they share it with side chick, but forgetting that the side chick is going to come with their own demands. Yeah. You understand?
Okay. So let's bring this conversation to the template we're using for this show at this moment. That as a man, you've done your bit. You're responsible. Let's say he's a responsible man. You do the school fees, the whole works. Your wife is happy. You buy her Brazilian hair. Everybody's happy. And then you get extra. And that extra, you believe, okay, there are projects, maybe your mother, your extended family, you don't want your wife to get in because you know if your wife is aware of this thing, she will object to you giving maybe your family or things that are personal to you. Now, in that kind of situation, why must we make it an issue? Why must we make it an issue if the man at that point takes a decision, you know, this extra that is coming in, I don't need to disclose.
Well, I'm actually really on the fence with this. Personally, I've said it countless times over the past 5 years on the show that my money is my money and his money is our money. And my money is my money in terms of this money is mine. If you need at any time, you ask me, it's available, but it's my money. A man is the head of the woman, is responsible to take care of the family. If my help is needed, I will do it. However, in the case of increment, I don't think it has to do with trust. You see, you can trust your spouse so much that you know what the person will do with the money. You know that if my wife hears that I have an increase in salary, then she will remember how the children need shoes, bag, my family member, all of that.
But the children need it.
Which, in actual fact, if you talk about management, and I'm a queen of management and planning, you will know that when you have extra money, if you can survive on 10,000, you will survive on that same 10,000 even when you earn 100,000. Some people don't know, their mouth gets wider as their income increases. You must learn to prune now so you can enjoy later.
That's not why you shouldn't tell me.
Some men are so good at it and they know that they trust their wife not to be able to control themselves, and so they keep the information away. I don't blame such.
Okay, I'm trying to make it.
I disagree with
if the end result of that keeping quiet is for all of us to enjoy, you know, you can save money for the next year. You can have increase in your salary and you don't mention it for 1 year, and by the end of that year, you come back with a brand new car for the household. Fantastic news.
That is not fantastic.
The idea is that if you trust that if you tell your spouse about the money.
When the tables are turned and the wife is the one doing the
hiding that money,
like I said, will take it personal.
Very personal.
And they will tell you that if you can hide something from me, God knows other things that you're hiding from me. So in this situation, love is what brought the marriage together in the first place.
You should share everything.
So you should share every information. So, hey.
Okay, let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation with the guest. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So joining the conversation is the founder African Mummy, which is a forum for moms and women of African origin. Her name is Shile Ismaila. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, ladies.
You can call us on 070 again, 070-668-014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can radio tweet. You've been hearing us discuss this thing of disclosure. You know, Obi Ajulu mentioned something about trust. Some were saying, well, the truth is that both parties must agree on this. So what are your own general view on the issue of money in marriage?
I think I agree with you saying it's a marriage after all, as you said. Sorry, I've lost my voice. It's a marriage after all, and what is the point of keeping it? There must be a reason, but a caller called in earlier and it said it depends on the woman. So if you know someone's going to ruin, you know, your finances, then maybe it makes sense.
It's easy sometimes, Shile, when we look at it from the perspective of the woman being the person that doesn't know.
But in a situation where, and I said it earlier, nobody has already attended to what I had said. In a situation where the woman is the one making the money, and the man is the collector. He collects the whole thing. He tries to do the man thing. And then she has really nothing to take care of herself. She likes to wear Brazilian hair, but she can't afford it because she's the man in the house. Okay. So suddenly there's a salary increment. Don't you think she would want to hide that information from her spouse? Or do you think it's right for her to hide that information at least so she can take care of herself? Do her nails and do the work?
I don't think it's right for her to hide the increment from her husband. Yes, you could decide to put aside some money
for yourself,
and for the children, right? But in a situation, and I like what you're saying, in a situation where you said the woman is the one earning more for the family, and I believe sometimes when we look at marriage, we look at it from the angle that, okay, yes, we are one, I agree with you, but most times we women are already formed before we married the men. Do you understand? So most times there's a lifestyle, even though I understand that you have to, live according to the means. Do you understand what I'm saying? But there are times where the woman already has her own money. Do you understand? And the husband comes in now to compliment. For instance, you see some light-skinned ladies and the likes and doing well and all of that. People assume that because people assume that you're spending the man's money. Do you understand? Yes, I agree with you because it's a wrong perception out there. And nobody's actually thinking about, oh, what's the woman contributing towards the home? What's the woman contributing?
May I answer your question?
Let me talk about coming here for a second.
Yeah. So, true life story, I have a friend that she was earning a specific salary, and then when she changed, she got another job, and her salary was increased. She didn't tell her husband, and she had many issues because the job involved her traveling. So when she got another offer, in trying to make everything work in the house, she informed her husband that, oh, now I'm going to be earning 350,000 naira. Her previous salary, according to her husband, was 150. So her husband felt like, wow, from 150 to 350. Oh my goodness, you have to take this job. She said, I'm going to travel. They said, you travel, you take this job, take this job. So she was happy. She thought it was going to end there. Only for after the first month salary, the other now said, you see, house rent is 1 million. Our school fees is 300,000 naira. So now you are earning this, your 350K. Wouldn't it be nice for you to be bringing like 150 into the house, and we will be sharing how we pay rent and pay school fees? She realized that 4 months, 6 months down the line, she had no savings. She was more stressed. She couldn't even afford to buy herself anything, like spend on herself, because the money, everything she had went into the family coffers. And she was now wondering, is this what men go through? I know it's good for us to appreciate how our men feel when they have no money, but women have extra job of taking care of the household whilst they're earning money outside. The least we would want, a lot of women that earn money would want, is to be able to say, let me splurge on myself. Let me do something special for myself.
Do you agree with
and there must be room for that.
I do agree with you, but my question, you mentioned if she earns the money and the man is the taker. To be realistic, does that really happen?
Yes, it does.
Yes,
it does.
Okay, maybe I'm just clueless. But when a woman earns a lot, I would have thought she would probably be the one in control of her finances. Because you earn a lot of money and then your husband takes it from you.
Not necessarily.
Because I come from a polygamous family. My father had 2 wives and then had another lady. Now, my mother was the first wife. At some point, Popsy's attention will go to wife number 2 because she's the new kid on the block. Everything, all his resources are towards that. If she hadn't saved her own money aside, not to disclose to my father, she wouldn't have built the house she's living in today. She wouldn't have built the business she had built because she understood that, listen, if I don't keep this thing to myself, my children will suffer.
Yes.
So it's a different situation. It's the same thing, of course. It's still a marriage. It's still a marriage.
It's polygamy. There's
why are we now saying polygamy? Because the truth is that she's still not disclosing. She never disclosed my dad. So in your view, what do you think on
I think I absolutely agree with you. A polygamous family, you really need to take care of yourself. Because it's a marriage, but it's still very much of you're on your own. Exactly.
And there's no one size. Honestly, even within monogamy, there's no one size fit all because we're dealing with different people. And that's why you must communicate and find what works in your home. I cannot take VC's templates to come and run my family. It won't work. I will cause problems in my house. Besides, I'm an entrepreneur. My husband is an entrepreneur. We don't know. Today we earn 1 million. Next month we earn 10,000 naira. So our fund inflow is different from someone that is earning a salary. So you must work with your resources per time in your house. So when we realize that in our household, our income is not consistent, we try to balance ourselves based on what we have. Okay, I know my wife is a saving person. I have this 200K. Let me give it to her to save. Because I works in my house per time. It might not work for somebody else.
But I wanted to tell you that I wanted to throw in the fact that Reno Mokre, I said that lack of money ruins marriages more than lack of love.
I just remembered one story. I had a neighbor while growing up. This is my neighbor. Every day, somebody will come and she keeps buying things on credit. When they hawk things around, she'll buy on credit. On Saturdays, her husband is at home. The husband is settling basic. As in, the fish seller will come. He will pay fish seller. My name is, as in, his own money.
It does depend on the woman.
She's always gathering, piling debts for the man every time. Akara will tell her every time they're always coming. When you marry such a woman, because we assume every woman is a good manager. Some women are spendthrifts, and we must be realistic about that. So when you marry such a woman, you will hide your salary increase from such a person.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, the men knows the kind of women they married.
Yes,
so
same goes for the women.
Yeah, same goes for the women.
All right, when we come back, we're going to just talk a bit about you, what you're working on, and what you're doing. Let's go on a break. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
So we need to go to this Reno Mokre conversation, but let's quickly take a few tweets before we do that.
Andrew here says, with Tokwe, Kike, and BC, they are not salaried women. They make money in varied ways. Today, 1 naira, tomorrow 2 naira, next tomorrow 3 naira. So with this kind of women for husband and wife, our money is our money. Garth says, aha, that's it. 99.9% of humans do not trust the ones who they are to trust the most. T-Money says, she must be truthful and open to her husband. It's her family. If she can't give everything to her family, she isn't ready for marriage.
Okay, let's go to what Reno had said. What's the place of love in marriage compared to money? Which is more important, love or the money? Let me come to Shirley first.
I think both, but I would say the money is quite important. So I was just while you guys were talking, I was just looking at stats, and it says in America in 2015 there was about 2 million marriages, and 800,000 of them became most of them got divorced. 800,000 got divorced, and they looked at the reasons, and about 80% of the reason was finances. Wow! Because at the end of the day, you still need to be able to live as a family.
But how do our mothers in the villages, how do they still survive? 50 years,
they didn't have a choice.
Exactly.
So
and the lifestyle was different.
The role of money is crucial in every relationship.
Yeah, very crucial.
But love is what keeps the family together.
True. Money makes love sweeter.
So what, you think money makes love sweeter?
Yeah. Okay, before that answer, what is money? We need to understand. So money is an exchange for value. So I would fall in love with a man who's got potential, who has value to give.
That's true. It's true.
You would fall in love with somebody who does not have value. It's not possible.
What about the man who has prospects?
That's the same thing we're saying. So that value is what translates to that material thing. Because I remember when I met my husband, he was a bloody student. My pocket money as a student was bigger than his. He never took me out on a date one day to buy ice cream, common ice cream. But I saw that value. I saw that value.
So you're not talking about wealth, you're talking about money that can sustain.
Let me take this call. Hang in there, guys. Let me take Adigwe, then I come to you. Adigwe, are you there? Or is that? Yes,
when you marry value, and you have waited 5, 15, 10 years on value, you realize that the love that was shacking you in the beginning,
that's not value.
You marry value.
My mother married value.
Can we remember
my father was a
can
man
we
of value.
remember
My father did not leave Banana Island house for us. He left a name. Everybody's like, name is good.
That name is giving you access to
it. You are not hungry.
Let me tell you something. I am proud of what my father left. Yes. His name. Those who knew him will give me access.
Before.
Do you know him?
That's value.
People who are in power today, do they know him?
But I don't.
So the point is that name is great, but you see, let us not underestimate that value money brings into it.
You guys discussed acrimony.
So you're not talking about wealth, right? You're talking about money that can sustain you as a
family. We're talking about that marriages break up based on more money than love. And that money sustains marriages. And the truth is, as many women claim love, when push comes to shove and you're at it hungry for the next
Yeah.
10
It
years,
will fly out of
the
the
love
window.
would go.
Bang.
So when I say money makes love sweeter, in reality, money, having money in that relationship
And you're being
makes
realistic.
the love
Yeah.
sweeter.
Wait, I can't hear anybody anymore, please.
You can actually marry prospective.
Right.
And that prospect doesn't click for the next 10, 15 years. Very few women can stay 20 years. We saw in acrimony, very few women can stay that long.
I agree with you.
While there is need for love, I believe that money is essential to
Let me come
success
to
in
Sheila for a
marriage.
second. I'll let Sheila end with the comments. Anything you want to tell our viewers about you, what you're doing, and
Well, my name is Sheila Ismaila. I'm the founder of African Mommy. African Mommy is a community forum website for women and moms of African origin. And what we do is we try to empower, support, inform women and moms of anything around their lives. So being a better you, being the best version of yourself in health, fitness.
This is in diaspora, right?
So it's globally, because it's a website, it's a forum where people can connect and communicate together.
So is there a special
that's it.
focus on single women? On
Yes,
single
so
mothers,
it's
rather?
about women in general. So whether you're a mom, you're single. So we do have articles on where you can go on and just read about different things, and also we bring
thanks
experts
so
on
much
as
for
well.
coming, Sheila. We appreciate
Thank you
being
so
here.
much for having me.
That's all we can take on the show. I hope you've had fun as much as we have.
Yes.
Please, if you're a woman, use wisdom.
End of story.
That's the end of the story.
And man,
if you
to
want to
use
disclose,
wisdom.
disclose. If you think it's not appropriate to disclose, God will
Carry
understand.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
As a country this year, we experienced some truly tough situations. But as usual, given our resilient nature, Nigerians, I think we've definitely walked through that. At the beginning of the year, I feared for our country because almost everything that was in the news was viewed through the prism of religion or ethnicity. But thankfully, as of today, I do believe that we're in a better place. Personally, this year has been truly, truly rewarding for me. This platform alone has opened so many doors and opportunities for me. And because of that, it is giving me hope, and I hope that the 2019 has given a lot of other Nigerians hope that 2020 would be better. And so I would say to my fellow brothers and sisters, Nigerians out there, this year, lead with kindness, lead with empathy. Be your brother's keepers. It is the festive period and a time for merriment and celebration, and we on Your View cannot overemphasize this enough. Please don't drink and drive. Don't drive and drink. Be safe. I would like to thank the whole production crew because the truth is, without them, there will be no us. Thank the cameramen, our producers, our wonderful, wonderful makeup artists. I'm telling you guys, it takes a village, and our village is competent, our village is smart, our village is intelligent, and we're so grateful for you. Thanks for watching and have a fantastic new year. Love you.